Hello, good and welcome to Ending Money Making class. So in today's class, I'm going to be teaching you on how you can be able to make 3k to 10k every single day simply by buying low and selling high, which is what we simply call arbitrage. But if you've not yet subscribed to my channel, click on the subscription button. Do not forget to smash the notification bell and then also give us a thumbs up. So in the course of this video, you're going to learn everything from the beginning to the end. I also have a WhatsApp group if you're actually willing to join, and you're free to join. But I just want you to keep your fingers crossed that in the event of this class, you will learn all that you need to learn. So without much ado, I want us to get straight down into business. So the first thing you will need is you will need a verified Binance account, and then you will need digital banks. If you don't have any of the digital banks, remember to check in the description below. I've already fixed in everything that you need. And then also, I've also included some of my videos that will also be necessary to aid you in the in this course. So the first thing you do is you open your Binance account, and then you move over to the P2P section. The P2P section can be seen just when you open your Binance app somewhere here, and you can also see the P2P section when you go over to funding wallet. Your own interface might not likely look like mine simply because I'm actually making use of I've updated my app. So maybe you might want to update yours. So you can see over here, that's an app, the P2P section. Either ways, whether you take it from the front or you take it from here, it will still lead you to the same place. But before I go ahead to proceed to speak about the P2P section, please take note that maybe some of you might have USDT in your spot wallet and you might want to transfer it. So all you simply have to do is you simply come over here to transfer. Either it's on overview or it's on spot, just click on transfer here or funding, and then you type the name of the coin up here. So if it's USDT you want to transfer, you click on USDT and then you make your transfer. You can click max or you type in the amount that you want and everything goes. So the next thing you need to realize is, okay, so once you've transferred your USDT, you can then be able to trade on the P2P section. Please take note that for you to be able to trade, your USDT actually has to be on the funding wallet. Once this is available, it's quite easy. Over here, you can see the amount in my spot wallet. You can see the amount in my funding wallet. So this is how you can be able to know how much you have left in your funding wallet. So the next thing I want us to see is I've taught you how to transfer. Now, Binance also has another function that allows you to transfer money to a fellow Binance user, making use of what is called the Binance Pay. When you click on Binance Pay, they will prompt you, you click on send, you click send, and then you can input the person's email address here. They will ask you to put in the password, your 6-digit number, and then you're good to go. So when setting up your account, you can also make use of your phone number or your PID. For you to get a PID, click on this place receive, and then you'll be able to have access to your PID. So this means that somebody can actually be able to pay you your PID, which is the number that you're seeing here, and you can easily copy it. So without much ado, I've taught you how to transfer money to a fellow Binance user, also how to transfer from your spot down to your funding wallet. And the same thing can also be done vice versa, in whichever way it is that you want it. So when you click on the P2P section, you'll be greeted with lots of rates and all that. Everybody's trying to sell. Our focus in this class is we're going to focus on just USDT. That's all we are buying and selling. So you will see lots of rates here, 5, 6, 8 and the rest and all that. But the issue is knowing the right rates for you to pick. So over here in the sell section too, you can also be able to see the various rates that are available. The purpose of this class will simply be how to buy dollar at a cheap rate and how to be able to sell it at a higher rate. But in my class, I'm going to teach you strategically how you can be able to place a trade, and in 15 minutes, you can actually be able to sell off or buy, whatever the scenario is. Usually in the space of 5 to 10 minutes, you can actually be able to make your sales. It means that you can be able to do this trade up to 20 times, 30 times in a single day. The choice is all yours and it's not difficult. So that's exactly what I'm going to be teaching you. The first thing I want us to do is that you will need to search for your range of values that you want to sell. First and foremost, you need to know how much you have in your bank account. So let's assume that I actually have 150,000 in my bank account and I want to use it to do this business, or probably I have 100,000. The first thing I need to do is So the next thing I want you to understand here is first there's a buy section and there's actually a sell section. If you can be able to get this thing now, you won't have issues. This is the buy section, and the buy section always has green for the P2P area. And this is the sell section. The sell section is always red. But as a merchant, the interchange, there's actually something like an inverse proportion, as it's inverse in the sense that when you want to buy as a merchant, you will not go to the buy section. Never you go to the buy section for you to check your rate if you know you're going to be buying. Please go over to the sell section. This is where you're going to pick your rate. And when you want to sell, please always go to the buy section for you to confirm your rate. And you should also be able to see your ads after you've placed them on the buy section if you're actually selling, or on the sell section, whichever this scenario is. I'm going to use buy section to actually mean where you can be able to buy USDT as a customer or as a consumer. And I'm going to use sell section to be able to be when I am talking about consumers. So if you're able to understand my terminologies in the course of this video, it will help you. Remember, buy section and sell section are actually for those who are coming on Binance and they're saying we want to buy USDT, we want to sell USDT. Or probably you're done with your card arbitrage and you have some USDT and you want to sell. So I'm going to call this sell section, and then I'm going to call the other one buy section, just in case you want to buy USDT so you can be able to use it to trade. Your understanding of my terminology is going to help you in the course of this video. Remember, the buy section is for those who are customers. The sell section is for those who are customers. So they are coming in and they are the ones who will be clicking on your ad for them to be able to buy whatever thing it is that they want to buy. So the next thing I want us to look at, we need to know a range of values for which we will actually be buying. If, for instance, you have like 100,000 or 150,000 naira in your account, obviously everybody wants to make profits. The first thing that you will need to do is that you will need to type in the amount of USDT that you want to be selling. So let's say, for instance, okay, sorry, let's start for buy, because I want to assume that as a merchant you don't have any USDT in your account, and so I'm going to be teaching you on how you can be able to get your USDT. But first and foremost, you need to do what is called a market survey. The purpose of the market survey is for you to find out what price you're actually going to go in for, what price will actually suit you best. Please, at the same time, remember there is an area where merchants can be able to set ads. When I mean merchants, I mean all those who create ads. I'm calling them merchants for the sake of this video. Binance have what is called a verified merchant, but there are some procedures you need to for you to get yourself verified. But for the course or the purpose of this course I'm teaching, please have it at the back of your mind. You do not need to become a verified merchant for you to be able to place your ad, not at all. So the first thing that we do is that I told you before that when I want to buy USDT, I'll go over to the sell section. Hence, this is where I'm going to find myself. So if I also need to find out what rates will actually be good if I say I want to be buying USDT. Even if you have like 100,000 naira, at the course of this video, I will advise you to actually be able to buy from those who are lower. Let me give you a scenario. Let's imagine you have 100,000 in your bank account. You type in 100,000. Please take note of the rate. The rate for 100,000 is actually 566.90. Let us reduce it and see if it's to 30,000. So 30,000 naira, the rate is actually 566.50, meaning that when you are in the sales section as a consumer or as a customer, that the lower your amount, the lesser the price you will get for your USDT. So let's imagine that somebody who is bringing in 1 million to come and sell on Binance P2P section, that person will actually be able to sell at a higher rate than this. So when you're coming in to sell small amount of money, you will actually have to pay more for it. So please, I advise you totally that you do your possible best to ensure that you pick the right rate. So fine, when making your buy order, when doing your buy order as a merchant, you will actually appear in the sell section. So when doing your buy order, you need to know what range of values do I want to buy. Do I want to buy from people who want to be selling 30,000? Do I want to buy from people that want to be selling 50,000? Do I want to buy from people that want to be selling 100,000, 1 million, depending on your volume or the amount of money that you have. But take note that the lower the amount that people are coming to sell, the bigger, the greater your gain. But it's not really a law, but obviously you can always be able to check. So we checked for 30,000 naira and we found out that 30,000 on 5cc is 0.50. So let us see what 10,000 naira has. So you can see that 10,000 naira even seems to have a higher amount. That is, people can be able to sell now at a higher amount. But remember that as a merchant, your goal is to ensure you buy at the lowest amount available in the market. Hence, going for 10,000 naira would not be a good one. But let's also see something. Now, this person is actually saying that, however, I charge 100 naira, apply to cover for P2P ads. Please, whatever you do, ensure you do not apply an extra $100, 100 naira to any of your transaction. After a while, Binance is going to close those accounts and those people are going to lose access to the P2. They might not close the whole account, but they will lose access to the P2P section. Hence, because Binance does not support extra fee. For this very reason, I advise you that you should not add an extra 100 naira on top of the money people are paying. So I do not see this rate available here as valid. So next thing we'll need to see, so let's look at 20,000 naira. So for 20,000 naira here, we can actually be able to see 5cc is 0.50. So these are actually the people with the real rates. So these are actually the people with the real rates. Now let's assume that I am buying at the rate of 566.50 from people and I want to sell. Remember I said that if you're selling, that you will actually have to go to the buy section. When I make use of the word section, it means I am talking about consumer. When I'm talking about the word ad, which means advertisement, I'm talking about a merchant. So if you go over to the sell, so if you will go over to the buy section, if you go back to the buy section, you will actually be able to see that you can be able to sell for what, 569 naira. Please, this guy is restricted, hence shouldn't concern you. Take your mind off him. His rate is invalid because he's restricted. The first person who will be picked here is actually this guy. So for 20,000 naira worth of USDT, if you wanted to sell it, you will sell at 569. And if you are supposed to buy it, you will buy at the rate of 566. Hence, you'll be able to make a profit of 3 naira per USDT. So let me punch my calculator and show you. So if you have 3 naira times $1,000, it means you will make $3,000, 3,000 naira. Please take note, this is the way this works. Even if you're making 3,000 naira, yes, Binance still has some fees they will collect, but it's quite minimal. But that's not the issue. The thing now is that you're making 3,000 naira. This 3,000 naira means when you do a cumulative amount of 1,000 naira, that's what you're supposed to make. So what this simply means is that maybe you have about $300 USDT, $300 worth of USDT, that's 300 USDT. What you can simply do, it means you have to do 300 USDT 3 times or 4 times for you to be able to make up to 1,000 USDT. So a cumulative amount of 1,000 will actually give you the 3,000 naira. So you can see that if you have 300 USDT and you do this 4 times, you should be able to make about 3,000 naira. It is that simple. So the more time you do it, the more profit you make. If you do this 9 times, you have already calculated you're making about 9,000. You do it 10 times, you're making about 30,000 naira. So one full cycle is what we are talking about here. A full cycle of you using um, your whole 1000 USDT, depending on what your capital volume is. And in this business, the bigger your capital, the more profit you make. So we've actually been able to see how we can be able to purchase USDT by being on the sell section. What this means is, in a layman's terminology, I'm going to give you this scenario. Let's imagine you have a shop that actually buys used cars and sells used cars. And so somebody comes to your shop and tells you, I have a Camry 2021 model or 2020 model. Please, I want to sell. And I tell the person, please, sir, I'm going to buy your car for 562,000 naira. And he says, is that the last? I tell him, sir, that's the last. That's, look at the price on the wall. We've already fixed our price. Now he came to Joshua shop. Let's imagine my name is Joshua. He came to Joshua shop. Now in Joshua shop, which is my shop, Joshua Car Dealers. In Joshua Car Dealers, which is actually my shop, we also buy cars and we also sell cars to people. So somebody brings his car to me, I accept the car, I give him my price, I look at the rates, this is the amount I'm going to buy your car. And after he has brought his car, what I simply do is I call somebody to wash the car, to clean the car, and I put the car up for sale. Now remember that I bought from Emmanuel at the rate of 562. When I want to sell that same car, I can tell the next person this car is available at the rate of 580,000, meaning or 582,000, meaning I've made 20,000 naira on top. So as a merchant, one of the things that you will actually be doing is you need to learn how to put your buy ad and how to put your sell ad. Please remember that you're calling it buy ad because you're buying the car from somebody, and you're calling it sell ad because you're selling the car to somebody. But if somebody else was to come in, if Ima was to come in, Ima would tell me he wants to sell his car. So if Ima is selling his car to me, it means I am buying his car. This is the reason why on Binance you will actually notice that those who are selling, customers who are selling, whenever they are selling, you are actually buying from them because you have a shop. When you're a merchant, you create an ad like this. This ad is what you actually use as your shop. So when somebody else comes again and says, please, I want to buy Camry 2021, I'll say, okay, there's a car available. The price goes for 750,000. And I give it to him and he's happy and he smiles and he goes to do his bold business. Remember, he came to buy from me, but I am the one selling to him. So you now see how this happens, both the buy and the sell, how the buy and the sell actually functions. So I believe I've done quite good justice to it. Once again, let me repeat myself. If you want to buy USDT from people, please do not go to the buy section. Go to the sell section. If you also want to make sure you are selling to people, go to the buy section. Don't say I am buying, then I should be on the buy section. No, the reverse is the case. So we've seen how we can actually be able to make 3 naira from every single USDT that is sold. The next thing I'm going to be teaching you, I will teach you how, okay, I will show you something simply because of the sake of those who might just be coming in new. This is the way your Binance app will look like when you first open it. If for any reason you're not seeing NGN, which is Nigerian Naira, please click on this button and look for NGN. This will automatically help you to be able to change your currency to NGN. The next thing I want to show you is how can I be able to access the merchant area where I can be able to create ads. The only purpose of merchant area is only for what? Creating ads, nothing else. So what you simply need to do is you will click on the 3 dots that is actually at the top here. You click on it, and so you can see what is called advertisement mode. Now the purpose, switching to advertisement mode, at the bottom I can actually be able to see about 4 tabs. I have home, I have others, I have ads, I have profile. So all I simply need to do right now is I'll just click on ads, which is at the bottom here. and then I click over here the plus sign at the top. So I'm going to show you precisely how you can actually be able to create your own ad. So the first thing you need to look out for here, you click on buy. Now this is what it means: buy USDT with fiat. Now at this point I change it to naira, with fiat what naira. Now, I usually love to use floating as my price. And the reason why I love to use floating is because if there is actually any fluctuations in price, the Binance could adjust my ask for me a little bit. This will actually help me not to make much losses. But at the same time, if it is fixed, it remains that way, and it's not changing. But if the market goes against you, sometimes you might not so like it. It would not really be fun. So it would not go so well. So the next thing I will want to, and so you could lose some money when you have made some more profits. So we are moving it to floating. Usually I love to make use of 138, but let's see. Currently rate is currently at 569. So for you to be able, you can use the plus sign here, the minus sign here, or you can simply type it in here. So 137.80. So that's exactly what I want. And then I've chosen buy USDT with fiat engine floating. I use 137.80. Remember that these rates will likely vary from time to time. So I'll click OK. Now in the next page, I'll be asked to input the amount of USDT that I want to purchase. So I can simply write 200 USDT, or I can write 2000, depending on the volume that I actually have. So with this, you are moving forward. We have what is called the minimum limit and the maximum limit. In the course of the minimum limit, please take note that if your ad goes beyond your minimum limit, that ad will stop showing. If for instance I put 50,000 as my minimum limit, the moment my ad goes below 50,000 naira worth, the ad will stop showing. Meaning, the only thing you can simply do is for you to delete that conversation. Sorry, the only thing you need to do, so it will just be for you to delete that particular ad. So what next can we do? Now we're looking at 2000 USDT, and then we have a minimum limit here of 5000. But at the same time, when you make your minimum limit so low, there are some persons who will begin to place ads, like all those people who are looking for 1000 naira and all that. They will actually begin to place ads on you. And if you know you don't have that kind of time, that kind of luxury, I will advise you that you simply not put such a limit. Maybe you can make it 10 or 20,000, 30,000 as your minimum limit. So in the course of this video, I want to make use of 30,000 as my minimum limit. So if 30,000 is my minimum limit, it then means that if my coin, with the amount of coin left, drops below 30,000, automatically Binance is going to take my ad off. Now, Binance also has another rule. You cannot edit an ad, even if you've already set it running, as long as the ad is less than $100. The minimum amount of money you can actually be able to use on Binance P2P as a merchant is actually $100. So once you have $100 with you, you are good to go. You can set it up and then it can begin to run. So if for instance the price drops below, let's say I've sold off majority of the USDT, if it's actually above my minimum order, the truth is that it will still show. But if for any reason, but if for any reason, but if for any reason we'll actually have that if for any reason that we find out that our cost is actually higher. So if for any reason your money actually falls below your 100 USDT, Binance will keep showing your ad, but take note that you cannot be able to edit that ad. The next thing you need to do will be to add your payment method, and then you can be able to, and then you can actually be able to fix in your time limit. This time limit, you can put it at 30 minutes, you can put it at 15 minutes, or 45 minutes. I usually love to keep it at 15 minutes because the truth is that there are lots of persons who want their trades to be fast. If, for instance, you're not online and you're holding somebody's trade or you have lots of trades to handle, you could actually keep this person waiting for quite a long time and it will not be so good. So 15 minutes for me is ideal. So once you've chosen the time that you want, the next thing you need to do is to click next. If you notice here, so let me talk a little bit about Binance fees so that you can be able to flow along with me. If you looked carefully, okay, previous, you will see that Binance, that for 2000 USD, they are only charging 4 USD as their fees. So you can actually be able to know how much you will make after selling off 2000 USDT. So the next place we want to move over to, it's where you can be able to write in your terms and condition. Now for me, I wrote call me if I don't respond after 5 minutes. And then auto reply is so that the moment you click on my trade or you're buying or you're selling, this is what you're going to get. Call me if I don't respond after 5 minutes. These counterparty conditions, you can leave it if you want, but everybody must have completed KYC before they can be on the Binance P2P. Some persons might decide to say, okay, they want those who have registered for over 100 days. This is what they could say. So, but for me, I love to leave it blank because the truth is that once you activate this thing, there are actually some people who cannot be able to reach out to you again. There are actually some people who cannot be able to reach out to you again. So you see, you can just by ticking them, they get activated. So I'm unticking it. I don't need it. So once you're done, you click on online here and then you click post. But I'm not clicking on online because I already have an ad running. So I'm just going to click publish. So you can see that the rate I have chosen here is actually 566.76. And then you can click on done. So that's it. So once you're done, I have successfully created a buy ad. Now, if I, for any reason, I want to send this ad live, I have to, please do not slide, touch it. So once you touch it, the ad will go live. Now, you can also come back here to edit this ad by clicking on those 3 buttons at the bottom of your ad. Here you can see quick edit. If you want to edit everything in full, you can also make use of this. If you want to share your ad to somebody, you can send this ad to the person. If there are any details you want to do, you can view it here. If you want to close your ad, you can click on this ad. So you see, sorry, people are already clicking on my ad and I don't think this is what I want. People are already clicking on my ads. So currently, I already have 3 orders, as you can see it here. So probably I'm going to use this to show you an example of what it means to place an ad. The reason why I turned off my ad was I had not gone to confirm if this rate I had fixed is actually the right rate. But whenever you do not attend to an ad, take note that your rating will be dropping. You can go over to profile at the bottom for you to be able to see your rating. You can see my rating is currently at 91.75% and I have done 479 trades in the space of 30 days. Now, before you can be able to use the place an ad on Binance, this is what Binance expects you to do. You should have completed at least 30 days being on Binance P2P, not just doing spot trading and futures trading. You must have done at least 30 days and then you must have done at least 20 trades there. So if you've done 30 days, you've done 20 trades, and since the day you registered and all that, Binance will enable you for you to be able to place your ads. Please also remember again, I told you that in the course of this class, what I actually expect you to do is that I expect you to make use of digital banks. The reason why we're making use of digital banks for receiving and sending payments is because our normal banks might be too quick for them to block you when you're dealing on cryptocurrencies, but the digital banks are not like that. And then secondly, when making any payment, ensure too that you do not put anything in crypto related in the transaction history. At the same time, these are some of the things you can also write in your terms and conditions, telling the person not to write anything crypto related in the transaction history or whatever it is that he's sending. So I have this payments here. You can be able to see this person has chatted me up. If I want to reply to his chat or check his chat, I click on this button here. Or if I want to tell this person I click here. Now you're seeing it's telling me pending payment. Once I click on this pending payment, I'll be able to have access to his account number, and then I can be able to pay. Look at my time. My time left for me to complete this trade is currently 12.25. So I'm going to use one particular person as an example just to show us. But remember that I'm buying at the rate of 566.97. So I'm going to check here if that rate is valid. You can see that rate is currently at what? 565. Okay, let me put for 30,000 and see. 30,000. Okay, rate is currently at 566. But you see, my own ad is actually bearing 566.97. Meaning I'm losing almost 1 naira. Hence, because of this, I'm not going to make payments on these trades. I'll prefer for these trades to cancel out. Okay, for the sake of, I will only pay one and I'll pay the smallest amount. I will let this other one cancel out. But please, I do not advise you, do not let time elapse on your trade. It will bring about a reduction. Binance will not penalize you if the trade cancels out automatically. But if you use your hand to cancel it, let me show you how you can cancel a trade on your own. By clicking cancel here, instantly, of course, they will count it against you for the day. So that's why making your trade 15 minutes is actually good. So currently right here, it's actually about 11. So I'm going to make a payment. First thing you do is you click on this button here and copy the account number. So he's making use of GTB. I'm going to pay him. I'll go over to my bank, make the payment. When I'm done making the payment, I will click on transferred, notify seller. So once I do this, they will ask me, have I paid? If I say yes, I'll proceed, and then the receiver will actually be able to release the funds. If you do not press on this, if you do not click on this transferred, notify seller, your money can enter thin air. Because when this trade cancels, the USDT that Binance has held in escrow, Binance will actually release it back to the person. So always ensure you click on this button. If for any reason you notice that your time is almost up, but you know that your bank has the ability for you to pay, it's like when you know it's remaining like 2 or 3 minutes, and so that you don't come back and then have network issues, what you simply need to do is you just simply click on transfer, notify seller, then go back and pay. But make sure you have sufficient funds in your account and there are actually no issues. So when I'm done making this payment, I'll come back here to tell you guys. So I just clicked on transfer, notify seller. I've made my payment. The major reason why I even asked you to make use of digital bank is because they usually have very cheap fees. Some of them is just 10 naira for every transfer that you're doing, which is quite cheap. A bank like Kuda actually gives you 25 free transfers every month to any bank, while Kuda to Kuda still remains free. So you can actually be able to see from this that this is actually an awesome opportunity. So I've shown you here how you can actually be able to buy. Once you're done buying, you click on notify seller paid. Now at the top here, you will see charts. This is how you can be able to get the person's phone number. So when it opens up, you can come in here and click, just in case you made payment and the person is not has not yet released. You can call the person here by clicking on the button. The phone number appears. If I click it, it will go over to my phone dialer, and then the phone will begin to call him. If for any reason you have issues with the person who you paid and he has not released your funds, you can come down here and click on appeal. So once you appeal the transaction, see what it says. First thing is they will ask you, do you want to okay, before they will attend to me, some minutes has to elapse. And they giving me some time so that it can actually be able to elapse. Once the time has elapsed, they will grant me access for me to be able to appeal. So when you want to appeal, you need to upload a screenshot of your payment to the person, or bank statement, or whatever the scenario is. You need to upload to the person, telling the person that you've sent the money to him or her. There could come times whereby sometimes your transactions are delayed and you do not have access to and maybe the person does not receive his alert on time, please do not panic. Sometimes it happens like 1, 2, 3 days. Such things actually happen. So you just need to be patient and allow it. Some banks sometimes could give you issues. Banks like First Bank, Zenith Bank would also be an issue. There have been times whereby GTB refuses to send money to Kuda Bank, and Kuda Bank sometimes doesn't send to GT. Sometimes when you try it, you will notice that the money will be reversed. Please take note of this. If for any reason anybody sends you a screenshot telling you he has paid, or you receive an SMS alert, please do not be moved by SMS alert or by screenshot. Go to your application and confirm that the money has actually dropped in. Anybody can be able to edit a bank statement to make it look like what they want it to be. Hence, I advise you solemnly that you should ensure that you always go to your bank app. Do not rely on SMS alerts. We have lots of fake alerts that people can be able to send to your phone, and you think you've received the money, meanwhile nothing came in. This will actually prevent you from being scammed. So you've seen how to make a call. You can also be able to chat and tell the person, hi, please release. So you can be able to chat to the person here. So take note, it says that the payment has been received and the USDT will be sent to your account. So obviously, very soon, my order will be completed. Also take note that for every single time you receive an order, that Binance will do its best to send you a text message. If you're not receiving this text message on time that you've actually received an order, be rest assured you will likely have issues with receiving OTP on your phone. Hence, I advise everyone who wants to make use of OTP, who know, in fact, especially when you're selling, this is my advice to you. Either you get a Binance Google or Binance Authenticator, you get the Google Authenticator. Once you've linked it to your Binance account, you'll be able to receive your 6-digit codes that you can be able to use. So that's it. Now, so I currently still have one person pending. Just like I told you, I do not feel like paying this person because from what I saw here, let me see for 50,000 whether the rate is what it is. So you see, it is still 5 6s, meaning I'm going to lose almost 1 naira, which I don't want to. I just use the first person to teach you and to give you examples. When an order has been paid for, you can see it here. Unpaid orders are here. Anyone that is actually having appeal, you can click here. And for completed orders, maybe something happened or the order was cancelled, please click on completed orders. When you click on completed orders, you will see all completed and cancelled. So if, for instance, your time ran out on you and you were not able to make payment, you can simply come over here to cancel, and then you'll be able to see the person. So you can click here, go to chats, and then you can be able to call the person. So you place a call through to the person and tell him, please sir, I sent money to you, this and that happened. Please, can you do a refund? Some people might be kind enough to refund, some might not be kind enough to refund. So do your due diligence to ensure you do not let the time elapse on you, just in case you meet somebody who is not willing to do that. But in the eventuality that such a scenario happens, what do? Please go back on Binance, go and look for the person's ad and see if there's any of his ad available. Instantly, place, in fact, there might not be any need for you to call him. Go back to his ad, because the moment the ad expires, it goes back to the buy or sell section. So go back there, go click on his ad again, place exactly the same amount you are trying to buy previously. So that way it covers you. So you can easily tell him, I have sent payment to you. Now, if for instance you're trying to, okay, for today we are talking about merchants. Now, Binance usually blocks those people who may be consumers or customers who cancel trades after 3 times. They will be blocked from using P2P for that day. So I've taught you how you can actually be able to buy, how to create an ad, and how you can be able to buy. I've also shown you how to get people's phone number, how to be able to see your cancelled trades and completed trades. To know, so if people keep canceling their trades, it means that there's a problem somewhere. It's either your bank is not compatible or there's a slight problem. So it's best you just let the matter, you try to sort out the issue. So the next thing I want to teach you now is how do you sell the USDT that you have with you. So we'll come over here to the top again and then click on the plus sign. So when we click on the plus sign, we'll create a sell ad. The first time we clicked on buy, this time around we're going to click on sell. So once you click on sell, sell USDT with fiat, which is an engine, and then again it's floating. So this time around I'm taking 137 or maybe 139, 138. So let's say 138.90. So this is the rate I want to make use of. Please, when you're adjusting the percentage, this is your price that is going to show, not this percentage, your price that is going to show. The next thing I want you to do is move over to you move over to the buy section, because this time around you're selling USDT. So I'm not going to let this ad I'm creating go live, so that I can be able to ensure that the price I'm putting is actually the accurate thing. So but let's go back a bit for the sake of others. So this is my rates. I come over here, and then this time around I'm selling, so I have to be in the buy section. So I type in maybe 50,000, since you have up to 100,000. Okay, let's start from 50 and see. So for 50,000 naira, I can be able to sell at 568. Now, if it's 100,000 naira, let's see how much I'll be able to sell to him. So if it is 100,000, I'll click on confirm, and then for 100,000 I still have 568.60. So let us see for 200,000. But remember, this must be based on the capital you have. So for 200,000, it's still almost the same thing, no much difference. So for 200,000 here, we can actually be able to pick this rate, 568.76. Now please let me state this when picking rates. This is very crucial. Whether you're buying or selling, I always advise all my students that they should consider the third position. So if this person's rate is currently at 568.77, and I know that I want to sell, because when you're selling, you need to sell at the highest rate. Usually, this rate here is not the highest. This is actually lower than this, and this is actually higher. It's a difference of about 17 kobo. So the next thing we'll need to look here is we'll need to create our own ad. I'm taking note of this person's price as 568.77. So when I want to put my own rate, maybe I could put 568 point 75, because these people here, the consumers who are coming here are coming to buy, and they want to buy it at a very cheap rate if it is possible. So what we're looking here is at 568 points. Okay, let me use this one. If I put the same price with this guy, this person any will still be on top of me. But if I change it to something different, I will likely be on top of Ade. So let me put 568 points 75. 568.75. So this is your quick edit that you can actually be able to edit. So the next thing we would need to look at here is so we would need to see. So after fixing your price at you can be able to edit this. So whatever thing it is you want, I already have a sell ad. By clicking all, I can actually be able to put it there. So the rate I want to use is actually 568 points. I think I saw, let's say 75, and then I click save. That's it. But this time around, I'm going to show you precisely how you can be able to pick the right trade by yourself. So we're going to look at 50,000 naira for the sake of those who, okay, so it's 50,000 naira. Now I can, at the essence why I'm doing this search is so that I can be able to know the range of value, since the money I have in my bank account is about 100. So if that's the scenario, it's not really much of a big deal. So currently we found out that the rate we're going to be making use of is 568, because I want to sell to people in the range of 50,000. So maybe 50, 60, 70 can come to me to make payment. So that's it. I look over for my ad. Let me create another ad so people will be able to understand what I'm saying. So you click on sell USD with fiat NDN, and then you choose float in here. So you type in 138. So you see 138.90.80. So after you're choosing your floating price, the next thing you do is I think this price will likely be too high, so let me break it down to 50. Because this is a buy order, I think I will need to reduce it. So very good. So I've currently gotten 568.02. I click on next, and then it's here. You can be able to type in. Now if you notice, my USDT, I'm clicking all, but nothing is coming out, simply because my USDT is already on that ad. When you have an ad currently running, it wouldn't work. So when you're done with this, you can choose the bank account you want them to pay. You can click add here and then type in the bank account that you want to pay. In my previous videos, I've already discussed on how to add a payment method to Binance. So when you're done, you click on next. But you see, they will not allow me. That's where in next is where you can be able to choose. Here, you can also choose your time frame here. So when you take next, you're just finishing up everything, just the same way you saw it in your buy ad. So back again to um so now this is actually for selling USDT, and I've shown you how to be able to edit by doing quick edit. But even if it finishes, you finish selling off all this USDT and you have more, you can always come here to type whatever thing it is you want. So let me show you using this. Edit details is what will give you everything you want. I've explained to you how minimum order works and how maximum order works. So the next thing here is to click save and then hope for the best. So once that is done, I can be able to let my ad go live. So the next thing I want us to consider, I've taught you how to buy. I think I want to see some persons make sell orders with me. So now please, after setting your order, always come out to look at for your name. This is me here. I'm actually on the second line, and you can see that. So probably after this person, I'll be chosen next, and people begin to pay money to me. So it's as simple as that, without you going through any much kind of stress. So please, payment method is not really a criteria here, because in Nigeria here, virtually almost everybody on the app is making use of bank transfer. Now, just in case you're not able to see this because your app is not fully updated, you can make use of the filter on the right. In the filter, you can still write the same details. You can write, okay, I want 5,000, 150,000. You click on all, and then you click yes. Please do not go ahead to say you want to see only merchant ads. If you're seeing only merchant ads, it will actually affect you, because you might not be selling as a verified merchant. Because you might not be selling as a verified merchant. So with this, I'm still waiting to see if somebody will pick up my trade just before I wrap up for today. Okay, for the sake of this class, I'm going to take my trade forward a little bit so that it can be easily bought, and then I can proceed. So 568.25. So usually, remember, so you can use the minus sign to reduce and the plus sign to increase. So that's it. Okay, so the next thing, um, now when you have up to 100 USDT, you can still be able to edit it just like I told you. But the moment it becomes less than 100, you can no longer be able to edit, which is what you are going to see here. So I'm done. Yeah, I wanted to change. Okay, I've changed the values already. So let's see where I'll be. So I'm 568. So okay, So that's me on top of here, and I'm still waiting for someone to come and sell their USDT to me. So currently, it seems like I've gotten ads already. So those are my ads down there. Remember, I think I bought at 567 something. I told you it looks like I'm just making about one profit or something like that. So when he clicks on paid, this will open up, and then it will allow me to confirm that he has paid. So I told you, make use of your Google Authenticator, or if you're not receiving OTP, that will really go a long way in helping you. So I'll just wait for him. Sometimes you need to chat them up for them to know that you're online. If not, they could come in and cancel your trades. So this person has actually marked it as paid. Whenever someone makes a payment, Binance will also notify you by text message. That way you will know, just in case you're not on Binance. So you can see over here he has replied me with something. I'll just go check what he said. And then okay, he has told me transfer done. So and he has given me the name that he paid with. So I'll just go over here. Now next thing I'll do is I come to please release. I'll click on that. It wasn't like that before. So here I've seen the name, I've seen everything, the amount that was paid. So I'll go and check this amount and see if the amount that was paid has really come into my account. So I'll check my account and see if the money has come in. So I've confirmed that I've actually received payment, and what I'll come over here do is I'll click on payment received. So once I do that, it goes, and then yeah, Binance will ask me, I have not received payment from buyer. If I click on this, they will likely take me to appeal. So if I click on this, okay, let's see. So, but if I click, I have received the correct payment amount and confirm. So I click this and it goes, because I don't want to appeal the order. Now, this is why I told you need to get your Binance or Google verification authenticator. So you can see here, or SMS. I have SMS, but I don't really use it. So I make use of this because it's on my app, my phone. So I just go over to my authenticator app. I click on it here, and then you can see it here. This code is actually time based. Whenever this thing finish ticking, a new code will be generated again. So I press and hold it, and it's copied. I go back to Binance. Remember, I didn't close anything. Click on paste, and it's there. So assets has actually been sold and released to this person. So with this, you can actually be able to see, now this person only bought 56,800 naira worth of USD. I still have some of them left. Well, let's check my ad and see. So I need to reload this page. Now take note of my ad. I still have about 85.76 USDT left. But be aware that this ad is no longer visible. The reason why this ad is no longer visible is because this amount has gone below my minimum amount, which is 50,000. And I cannot be able to edit this ad. Look. Now you can see that this 85.76 is currently at what? It's currently at what? 48,000. What this simply means is I cannot be able to edit this ad again, and this ad is no longer going to be visible. Anytime you see something that looks like an eye with a line crossing it, it is obvious that people will not be able to see your ad again. My rate is currently at 568.14. So let me see. If my minimum was 30, if I put my minimum at 30, maybe my ad would still have been visible to other people. You see, Binance is telling me that it is actually less than 100 USDT. So it's not going to work, even if I'm reducing the minimum limits. So if I could be able to reduce my minimum limit, it means that my ad will be back online, but they do not allow you to edit anything once it is less than 100 USDT. So I told you my ad is no longer available. It was 568.14. So what do you do in this kind of scenario? You simply have to go take the money that somebody has used in paying you. That's why I said you should have more money, at least 200,000 or 150, because of scenarios like this. So what I'll simply have to do is that I'll just go and buy again and then top up with what I have in my sell ad. Then I'll add it up to sell. So if that happens, it's quite good. Or I can simply come here and close the ad. But if I close the ad, it means it's not going to be too good because it's less than 100, unless if I have a place where I can be able to add more money to it. If I can add more money to it, there's no need closing. It's just for me to move maybe from my sports wallet to my funding wallet and then continue. If you've actually gained a lot of value on this from this video, please do not forget to hit the like button and then also subscribe to my YouTube channel. So I hope I hope people can actually be able to make up to 10,000 naira on a daily basis. For those of you who have bigger fund, maybe up to 1 million, 2 million, 3 million, you can actually be able to make much more money from this tutorial. So thank you all very much for watching. If you actually have questions about this, please feel free to leave your questions on the group chat. I will attend to them, or someone else on the group will attend to it who have gone through similar situations. Whatever happens, please make sure you do not release your USDT if you've not yet seen money in your bank accounts. It's not wise at all. Some banks actually can be very troublesome. Zenith Bank, First Bank is slow in delivering a lot of the money doesn't reflect immediately. So don't go shouting on people telling them I've paid or you've paid, I've not received it and all that. Just be patient, give it some time. Some of them will still come in. So you have to be able to understand that things like this will likely you will likely meet them. So thank you once again for watching. I still remain tech savvy and I'm the one who is making tech very simple for you. Thank you.